Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now.
I don't smoke. I never really picked up the habit. My father used to smoke. He did quit some years ago, and my brothers and I, encouraged that as much as we could. I think I was allergic to tobacco, although not to an extreme degree. Every once in a while, I will smoke a cigar, possibly with some brandy, if I'm just lounging around with friends. I generally don't like smoke. I definitely don't like smoke in restaurants or in enclosed spaces. Certainly not in hotel rooms either. You can definitely tell when you're in a smoking room. I got a top five list from a 16-year-old who is not a smoker necessarily, but he's got a handful of tips that might help people. One thing I thought was kind of funny, speaking of, my brother smokes. One of my brothers does smoke now that he's an adult. And he said, I came up with an idea. If I can make $1 million, I'll quit smoking. I said, what? He said, I'm going to make a website where people can send me money, and when I reach $1 million, I'm going to quit smoking. It's not a bad idea, I guess. I don't know if people would send him money to stop smoking. Be an interesting idea. You'd be rich. I mean, hey, if I made $1 million, I'd start smoking, or stop. Maybe I should start, and then never mind. So, number one, establish a quit day. Establishing a quit day can help you prepare for your time, up to that day. Don't choose a time where you're going through a lot of stress or if you have finals or something important. Choosing a time during a stressful situation will decrease your chances of quitting because you will not have an excuse to start. Number two, find medications to help you quit smoking. Now, this is something you definitely want to consult a health professional before you begin with. However, that said, there are a handful of patches you might use. My wife, Ponzi, used to smoke. She quit right around the time that we met, and she used, I believe it was Nicotrol, which was an inhaler-based solution, and it was like the end of one of those plastic cigar tips, and she'd hold it in her hand like this because she was kind of embarrassed about it, but she would use that, and really she wasn't on it for too long. She broke the habit pretty quick, and so I'm proud of her, and she's never really, hankered for a cigarette. That's the right word to use there. But she didn't use the patch. She used the inhaler, and it did work very well for her. There's also lozenges. People recommend staying away from the candy solutions. Feared Bliss notes this can actually begin a lifetime of addiction. Imagine if your kid accidentally ate your nicotine candy. It wouldn't be good. That is true. My mom, way back in the early 80s, had these they were diet candies. They were like caramel flavored candies. And one afternoon, my dad and I broke into them, and we ate the whole box of caramel candies. And I have been addicted to weight loss caramels ever since. Number three, surviving your first week. First week of quitting smoking will be the hardest since you'll be detoxing, but don't give up. Don't think that just because you were smoke-free the first week that you'll quit indefinitely. Your body produces chemicals after you've stopped smoking because it still thinks that you are. Also, you will still feel uncomfortable since you usually tend to put a cigarette in your mouth. Try one of the recommended solutions. Carrots or celery, that's what my dad did. Sunflower seeds, he did that as well. Or mints. And he, I think, replaced cigarettes over an extended period of time with toothpicks. And he always had a toothpick in his mouth. And of course not while he was smoking, but largely after he had quit smoking. I guess Freud would say that he was stuck in the oral fixation stage of his life. Number four, dietary changes. Since you're quitting smoking, your body will become weaker since you're going through nicotine withdrawal. The best way that he notes to fix this is to drink a recommended 8 glasses of water each day. Water is the best solution since it cleanses your body of all the toxins that you still have. You'll also feel hydrated and refreshed. Also, people that smoke will also most likely drink coffee. Do not drink coffee, he says. Caffeine is a very addictive drug which could affect your body's chemistry. I wonder what Chris is going to say. Oh well, I need my Pete's coffee. Ha ha. Oh, feared bliss, you know me oh too well. Number five, and it's probably the most important, rewards and commitment. Since you're quitting smoking, you should reward yourself. Think about all the money you spend on cigarettes. Since cigarettes costs are constantly increasing, you'll probably have money to buy yourself something nice. Go out and eat or watch a movie, go to a concert, or even buy new music. You should even make a list of why you will quit. Maybe it'll impress the girls and help your health or the environment, and everything that you feel like smoking, just pull out that sheet. Every time you feel like smoking, just pull out the sheet, read it over yourself, then you'll remind yourself of why you're quitting. I mean, there are different routes you can take to quitting a habit. I've tried quitting coffee twice in my life, and ultimately I kind of came back to it as like, you know what? Life's too short. I'm going to enjoy it. And I love my coffee. I love Pete's coffee with cream. And oh well, you know, a new study comes out every other week. Coffee's good for you. Coffee's bad for you. Coffee's good for you. Coffee's bad for you. Coffee can actually do this. Coffee can actually do this. Uh, I know I'm not going to be around forever, but I'm going to enjoy it while I'm around. I don't think coffee is shortening my lifespan, considering it's been around for a while. I know caffeine is not the best thing I can put in my body. It tastes good. It doesn't hurt others. There's no such thing as secondhand coffee fumes, unless you stick coffee in a microwave and reheat it. That's just bad for anybody. Nobody wants to smell that. That's like the worst smell in the entire galaxy. It turns my stomach every time I just think about that. Because every time you think about a smell, you ever notice that? When you think about a smell, you can almost actually smell it. It's the same thing that happens when you are, like, let's say at a table and you've got a glass of chocolate milk and, let's say, club soda sitting next to it, and you pick up the club soda and you think you're drinking chocolate milk, and for like a second, the texture is like you're drinking milk, and then you realize your tongue wakes up and realizes that you're drinking something else. Have you ever had that happen to you? Like, freaks you out. Like, you're like, wait a minute, how for like a second did my body actually give me the sensation of a different texture? The body is just strange. And some of our bodies look even stranger. Well, maybe I'm alone then, Adam. What can I say? My email address is chris@pirillo.com. Maybe you have actually gone through quitting smoking. You've got some tips to share with the community. Maybe you've gone through another kind of addiction, and recovered from it. Certainly, if you've got tips to share with the community, it's a good thing to talk about this stuff. I have friends who smoke and who don't smoke. I have computers that smoke, but not for very long because they don't boot up after they do that. Better stop that. Now, if you want to stop by our website, we're typically talking tech, unless, of course, you're taking a cigarette break, and sometimes you can see me sipping coffee. We're all addicted to something, man. What are you addicted to? Are you trying to break the addiction, and why? If you'd like to join the rest of us addicts, we're addicted to tech, typically talking about that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.